Hey folks, Jim Thomas here, Fitness Management and Consulting. I appreciate you being at the channel today. And for those of you that have not yet done so, please hit that subscribe button below. I appreciate it. And if you find this information beneficial that I provide for you, consider hitting that like button below. And as always, check out our links below for additional information about how you can grow and develop your business. Now, our topic today, it's secrets to avoiding success apathy in your gym. Secrets to avoiding success apathy in your gym. And I see this frequently. It's complacency is what we're talking about. And how I define success apathy is just because you've had success in the past doesn't mean you're going to have success in the future. And we want to do everything we can to avoid this complacency, make sure we're moving forward and avoiding success apathy. So number one is we want to stay on guard for this. We want to stay on guard for complacency. Are we getting complacent? Every day, are we looking at key performance indicators? Every day, are we looking at our numbers? Do we know our goals? Are we managing based on those objectives? I can tell you just that right there, many clubs are not doing. Okay? And we need to stay on guard about complacency. We need to stay on guard about success apathy. Every day, are we looking at key performance indicators? Are we looking at our numbers? Are we managing based on our objectives and based on what we want to do? That's the first place I would start. Okay? Number two, be sure we're sharing the mission with everybody. Okay? Be sure we're telling everybody, hey, here's what our mission is. Here's what we're trying to accomplish. Tell everybody in your industry, outside your industry, commit to it. Let other people know, here's what you're doing. It's one of the great ways, in some cases, to help you stay on guard, okay, for this. Number three, recognize exceptional service. I recall being in a meeting one time and I threw out the question, hey, we're all done. Anybody have any questions? And somebody said, well, hey, Jim, can you help me with a form to write people up? And I said, well, what do you need that for? And she said, well, we find a lot of people not doing their jobs, and we want to write them up when we see it. And I said to her, well, can I suggest this? May I suggest this? I'll help you with that form, something to write people up. But what if we wrote them up for doing something exceptional? What if we caught them doing something right? And so we see him, in that moment of truth, giving exceptional service, doing something right, going above and beyond, and we write him up for that. Because we're trying to inspire more action like that. We're trying to stay out of success apathy. We're trying to avoid complacency. So let's don't catch him doing something wrong. Let's catch him doing something right, okay? And let's write him up for that. So that's how we attack that a little bit. So recognize exceptional service in your business. Number four, the other side of that, correct poor performance. And what I would say here is silence is acceptance. If you see your staff doing things that they should not be doing, they're not following the sales process, they're not completing forms properly, their key performance indicators are down, your silence is going to indicate that that's okay. We need to correct that poor performance. Okay, and one of the things that I always like to do as a manager, I always carried a clipboard with me. Okay, and I'd make notes of things that needed to be addressed right now, things that could be addressed at a meeting, things of that nature. But if I see things that are happening that need to be corrected right now, I will sit that person down and I'll go over with them what needs to be corrected. But I'll also tell them why it needs to be corrected. I want to educate them. I want to help develop them. Okay. Now, number five. Avoid routines. Sometimes routines can get us into a rut and we become less effective. It's the same thing over and over and over. Sometimes, take that presentation. Let's change the words. Let's change the direction. I remember one time we had a really good sales guy, and man, he got into a really good slump, if you want to call it good. And I said to him, hey, look, today only, let's just do everything backwards. Okay, let's change your routine. And so when that customer would come in, we just do it in reverse. He'd sit down and do a price presentation. And then he went and he'd do a tour, and then he would do an analysis, and then he would do, he'd get the evaluation done. Okay, so we just did it backwards, just trying to get him to kind of loosen up and get out of that routine mode. And it was pretty remarkable. A lot of laughs were had, but he made sales. He got right back into it. And so you don't want to fall into that rut. Sometimes, the discipline is good, but watch out for those routines. Sometimes change this up to make it just a little bit different, make it constantly changing a little bit, because in reality, that's how we're going to get better. So let's avoid routines. Number 6, ask for feedback. Ask for feedback from your customers, get feedback from your members and folks that didn't become members. Even get feedback from your staff. I can recall doing meetings with clubs, and we'd get one I recall particularly is a front desk meeting, and we got everyone there, which was rare sometimes on those kind of meetings. But there was a girl who worked the front desk, and she had just minimal hours at the front desk on the weekend. No one really even knew who she was, okay, just because of the hours she worked and how few they were. And we got in this meeting, and part of the purpose is I wanted to get feedback from everybody. Hey, what are your thoughts? What can we do better at the front? Where are we missing opportunities? And it was a great meeting. But what I remember specifically about that is the value this person really provided. She was exceptional, and she really gave some great insight. And I think partially because she wasn't as connected to it. She didn't really have an agenda like maybe some of those folks may have had. So ask for feedback on this. Okay, and then number 7, to avoid success apathy, to avoid complacency, reward your staff, reward your employees. Okay, a lot of ways to do it. You can have an employee of the month, and maybe they get an upfront parking space. We can do that. There can be bonuses and things like that. I'll tell you one that I did that worked extremely well. And one of the things that I did regular is at the end of every month, we would always have an all-city meeting, and whatever club had the top production, we would meet there. And it was at close of business, roughly say 10:30 at night at that club, close of business. And it was an all-city meeting, and it was my meeting, and essentially to celebrate the month. And I was going to look for the good, no matter how hard it might be sometimes. Fortunately, it was more better than not. But we were going to celebrate the good. We're going to reward employees. And what I would typically do, I'd give out awards for top salesperson, top referral generator, who got the most cash, who added the most dues, rookie of the month, most improved. We had all kinds of awards, and they were legitimate and they were genuine. And it always worked really well. Got people fired up and inspired. We'd announce new contests and things like that. And it was me just up there with a microphone kind of being crazy. And so just on a whim one time, I thought, hey, I want to turn this into kind of like the Academy Awards. And so we had red carpet coming out, and we even had some balloons and, kind of dressed it up a little bit. And instead of just me being up there kind of handing these awards out, I'd hand the award out for, say top sales, but then I would turn the microphone over to them. And it was their chance to say, hey, thank you. And they're saying, hey, Jim, thank you for training me. Thank you for not firing me when I was really terrible. And they're thanking their managers for training them. And they're thanking mom and dad. And became very emotional, just like you see at the Academy Awards, kind of heartfelt moments. And it was amazing how our production just took off like a rocket ship after doing things like that. So we're always looking to kind of change things around, but we want to reward our staffers as well. And we want to reward our employees. So what we're looking for here, these are 7 secrets. Take a look at them to avoid complacency, to avoid success apathy. Can we improve in any of those areas? Most clubs can. Most businesses can. Most individuals even can. Okay, so take a look at it, because the more we can avoid that complacency, we can have regular, consistent, and long-term success in our business. Folks, my name is Jim Thomas. My company is Fitness Management Consulting. You can learn more at fmconsulting.net. Look forward to seeing you over there. Hope you all have a great day.